This is Tim Hart from Van Dyke Mortgage, right here in Fort Myers, Florida. I'm here with a special guest today. I have Yoselyn Hollow. She's the broker owner at Remax Realty team in Cape Coral. Yoselyn, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for asking. Thanks for having me. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you being here. And so before we get into what Yoselyn does, I want to make sure I set this up for you. I may brag about you for a second, if that's okay.
Perfectly fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Have at it.
So I'm in mortgage. She's in real estate. I do loans for several agents in her office, presentations. Really got a chance to get to know her business from the outside, looking in, and always have been amazed at the culture that her and Michael have created in there. And it's a culture of teamwork, collaboration, and just a really cohesive unit with a lot of different personalities. Real estate, they're all commission-based people, and you have done an amazing job there. So what we're going to talk about today is office culture, and this will translate into mortgage business, real estate business, or any other business out there that's looking to maybe generate that type of culture. And so, Yoselyn, I want to take a second to brag on the job that you and Mike have done. It's been pretty amazing. So good job there.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. If you can, do you mind filling in everyone on your past and how you guys got here?
Sure, absolutely. So I was born and raised in Massachusetts, and I was a broker liaison for the largest independently owned Century 21 office there. By the time when I joined them, we had 7 offices. By the time that I left and moved to Florida, we were up to 17. So I was involved with a lot of mergers, acquisitions, and basically attracting the talent. So I brought a lot of that over to Remax in 2004 when my husband, our children, and I moved down. And I've been a part of the Remax organization now since 2005, January of 2005. So a little over 13 years. Okay. And we currently have over 160 agents. We have 3 fantastic locations, 2 in the Cape and 1 in Fort Myers that literally was opened, has been open less than 60 days. Growing up in a very Latina household and family, we were all very close. It was a very close-knit family. We all, ate together, went on vacations together, so on and so forth. So although my agents have lives of their own, and there's so many of them, we don't go on vacations, but I really try to bring a lot of the principles and a lot of the things that were really important to me growing up in my household and in my family to Remax Realty team. And I think that over the course of the years, as you expressed, you feel the different culture when you walk into my office. And it is one of unity. It is one of collaboration. And, Remax Realty team, the name team, really reflects our culture and our atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And I've tried really, really hard to make sure that the people that are extended an invitation to join our office have the same common core values that I do and I had growing up and as an adult.
Right. Yeah. And so that's what I want to get into. Because we have you, Mike, your support staff, and then all the agents. So I kind of want to dig deep on this stuff. So what does office culture mean to you? Like, so when I say your culture, or you say our culture, what does that mean to you?
To me, specifically, culture means, a core group of people. It's people that bring out the best in you. It's people that you don't necessarily have to agree on everything. Like the cohesiveness in the office, the culture in the office is one where we are all working for the same common goal. And that's to help lift each other. It's to help the people that we're servicing, our buyers, our sellers. And in my case, my client, because I don't list and I don't sell, I'm a non-competing broker. My client is really my agents. Right. So the team setting, the unity again, And just a familial feel of the office is one that I, I can't sum it all up. You just know it and you feel it the moment you walk in through our doors. Everybody has, again, the same common core value. Everybody has one goal, and that's service above self. And that's really important to me. And those are some of the key features that I look for when we're attracting talent on our team.
Service above self.
Service above self.
I like it. And you look at it as the client, which anyone else out, or your client is, you're basically saying your employee, your
agent,
right?
Absolutely, my agent. Because I understand that without them, there would be no RE/MAX Realty team.
Yeah, and I think like for people that aren't in our type of business to think about it, like the commission environment, like can be just when I say commission, I mean the person that's they're commission based. We don't close a loan, they don't close a transaction, you don't get paid.
Correct.
And man, it can get competitive, cutthroat, nasty. Like it can go south quick.
Right.
So for people to, I don't know, I think if they know the business and they know like what goes into it, and then you see a culture that's maintained, that doesn't go south like that, I think it's something to watch from. So the client is your agent, and service above self. Mm-hmm. I like that. So what is more important to you, the office culture or the vision of the company?
The culture.
The culture.
The culture. The culture is more important from my own personal standpoint. And a lot of that is because, number one, we don't attract people that don't share the same common core values that we do. So once the people that we attract to RE/MAX Realty team, whether it's an admin or whether it's a sales associate or a broker associate, once they buy into the common core values, our mission, our vision, our beliefs, our values, the vision, the long-term vision will happen because we attract the right people to our organization. So it to me, by far, you don't compromise culture. There are certain non-negotiables, and culture to me is one of them. I can have a huge producer, but if they are not going to follow and be a part of the organization and look at it from a different perspective, from a team, from a collaborative effort, there's just no room for you here. Like, the adage that one bad apple, spoiled the bunch. That's true. It's true for me. So culture by far is the most important thing for me out of the two.
Right. And I mean, even with that top producer or that, amazing salesperson that you're talking about, it's not a bad on them or a bad on you. It's just, it's not the fit. That's all.
Right. Exactly. And I agree with that. I mean, RE/MAX is certainly not for everybody. Just the same or equally important, not everybody is a good fit for RE/MAX Realty team. And I get that. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't like that person, that I don't respect that person, that I don't appreciate that person. It just simply says, you know what? We're not going to be together. For me, it's really a win-win. I want to be around people that, that are going to bring out the best in me as I want to do to them. So it's perfectly okay. And over the years, there have been many, many agents that have come and have gone, don't follow the same principles, and that's okay. And we're still friends. And when I see them, we still say hello. It's just that you have to be really careful about the environment and the culture and the atmosphere. And it's something that, like I said earlier, it's just not a non-negotiable.
Right. I gotcha. So with the team culture, how do you foster that with such a competitive environment, like with commission-based salespeople? How do you keep that team together and not kind of joining clans? Although I know you do have Lower East Side going on there, second floor, right? Like, that's all fun.
Also Lower East Side,
Yeah, second floor. I'm team second floor, by the way.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that's funny stuff that they do. But how do you know what I'm asking? The culture within competitiveness, how do you foster that?
You know, and again, I think the biggest thing is that I'm a steward for all of that. You know, we do have a lot of we have a lot of fun together as an office. You know, when you consider that we're spending, you know, a good majority of our day with our colleagues, our peers, the people that I work for, you know, you want to have those right people and that right person on the team. And you know how we foster it is a variety of different ways. We do a lot of get together, feel good activities throughout the course of the year. I do a lot of challenges with the agents. You know, of course, we have a stellar training and advanced skill leadership, you know, workshops that we do every single month. Plus the coaching that I offer the agents free of charge is also really key, because it enables them to really identify the different things that they want to work on. But more importantly, it really gives me the you know, the front seat as to what their expectations are and how I can foster and how I can augment that for them. So I would say just a variety of different things. It's not just work, 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 work. We do have a lot of fun. We try to do quarterly, you know, events for the agents to celebrate them, to tell them that they're appreciated, that, you know, that we like them. I just got back from a rock star lunch just a few minutes ago, where we do monthly lunches to celebrate their individual successes. We do just, I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
I got you. So then the next thing would be, because, you know, as I do a lot of different real estate agents and offices. So how do you, this is basically for the new agent, the brand new agent, you know, just got their license.
Okay.
And then you have the veteran, the top producer. I mean, those are two different animals. And so how do you, let's start with the new agent.
Okay.
So how do you bring them into your office culture, and make sure they feel a part of the team? You know, you don't walk into a meeting and there's like this clique over here and they're like standing there by themselves. Like, how do you bring them on?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us is, you know, we set the expectation right from the very beginning. You know, it's the expectation of you've got to be present to win, right? It's an expectation where, yes, we may all be from different parts of the country, the world maybe. We all may have different backgrounds and different entrepreneurial, you know, skills and talent. But at the end of the day, you're a part of something bigger and something greater. And iron sharpens iron. And one of the biggest things that we like to do is right from the very beginning, when we ask an agent to join our office as a brand new agent, they have to go on teams. You know, for me, it's not the quantity of agents that we have, but rather the quality of agents. So I want to ensure that that agent has the best experience in real estate from day one. I want them to think back and say, you know, joining RE/MAX Realty team was the best decision ever. I call it the BDE, best decision ever. And
BDE?
BDE, best decision ever. So whether it's an experienced agent or a new agent, obviously we cater to them a little bit differently. I have a lot of teams in the office and they're very successful teams. And the team members, if I think, or my recruiter, my talent scout feels that they would be a good fit, then we ask them to come back for a second or a follow-up to meet the individual teams to see whether or not there's a match. I believe that there has to be a match between the team member and the team leader. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. And I tell them both that this is a mutual interview. It's them interviewing the team member interviewing the team leader to determine whether or not there is a match. There's that cohesiveness. If the answer is yes, then we ask them to join. And interestingly enough, with 160 agents, our office meetings are attended by about 90% of our agents. Mm-hmm. What that tells me is that the information that they're receiving is relevant, it's informative, and it's irreplaceable. They're not getting that content and that information, that understanding of our market in any other capacity or in any other venue. So when we have a new agent join, we make it a point to introduce them to everybody. Anybody that's walking the halls, anybody that may be in the office, I want them to feel welcomed right from the very beginning. And it starts with the top. It starts at the top. So for me, it's really important to make sure that they're engaged from day one. As an experienced agent, they bring a little bit different needs to the table. But at the end of the day, the experience, and, you know, them going back to their spouse or significant other and saying, you know, this was my BDE. You know, my only regret is that I didn't join Remax, you know, Realty team beforehand. I get that a lot. And I think that that has to do with the fact that, you know, from my transaction coordinator to my office manager to everybody in between, makes people feel welcome. When they walk in, they're saying hi, how are you, where are you from, they're engaging, and that gives everybody the warm and fuzzy. You know,
yeah. Shout out to Lorena.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Now, 160 agents, when you think about the sheer numbers, that's a big office.
Uh-huh.
And most people feel, oh, I'm just going to be a number, or nobody's going to know my name, or, you know, whatever. I'm telling you right now, you do not feel that when you join my office, because we make it a point not to. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've seen some offices that they'll take someone on, and like I said, I do a lot of other offices, and they have their programs as well to you know, pull people in and try to make them part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've seen other ones where it's like, yeah, hang your license here, good luck, and like that's it. Like, figure it out, buddy.
We have a full onboarding process that each one of us does, from myself to my office manager to my design center to my marketing director. We all have vital activities and vital functions that we do to make sure that the agent, regardless of their experience level, feels welcomed right from the very beginning. Plus, we have a lot of the seasoned agents too. I mean, we can't do it without them. So they go out of their way, because they remember starting at Remax Realty team and perhaps not having those relationships, you know, when they first came on board. They remember. And having the hand on that pulse is a reminder to them, listen, this is a brand new person. Let me go out of my way to make them feel welcome, to make sure that they have the things that they need, you know, to make sure if I see them lost in the hallways that they know where to go. Let me walk with them and stuff like that. So it's really a team effort.
Right. No, I see that all the time, especially with your support staff as well. So if you don't mind, like the seasoned agent that's been with you for a long time, right? Like, you know, Jill Dean, you know, Robin, Jay, those type of agents that have been there for a while, like, I shouldn't use them don't use them for an example, but, you know, the people that have been there for a while, like, how do you keep them engaged and constantly like trying to grow? Because, you know, I've been in the mortgage business a long time. Sometimes it's easy, and it's happened to me just recently, actually, where you kind of get a little complacent, you don't realize it, you know, and then you need that slap in the face, you know, glass of cold water, whatever it is, and then you get energized. So how do you do that with the agents that have been with you for a long time?
You know, a lot of the agents go through our coaching program, which is really, really important, because obviously as a broker owner, it's my responsibility to make sure that they are doing the things that they need to do. You know, the accountability, the you know, somebody else looking and watching, and the praise, and perhaps even, you know, like you said earlier, you know, the slap in the face, the cold water, or something like that. It's one of those things where, you know, they're happy to be here. They want to be a part of this company. You know, we keep them engaged, whether it's through coaching or through the variety of different activities that we do throughout the course of the month. They're also very, very, very competitive. And as you know,
they should be. They should be.
You know, I always look at it, you know, from a standpoint of, you know, every single morning, my top producers, anybody, quite honestly, if it's anybody, is, you know, if you're at the top, you have to perform at a higher level, because there's somebody who is waiting for you to slow down so that they can come and take your first place away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that as a broker owner, you know, we've been the #1 office in Lee County for the last 8 consecutive years. We've been the #1 office, single office, for Remax International for 2 consecutive years. We're not any longer in terms of a single office, obviously, because we have 3, but that's okay. We're constantly re-energized in the sense of somebody is right there. They're looking right behind you, you know, waiting for you to trip up, to become complacent, to become lazy, to, you know, become distracted, whatever it may be. to take over. And because of our competitiveness and because of the fact that iron sharpens iron,
right.
We're going to go down with a considerable fight. And, at this point, everybody helping each other ups their game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you're in our business or any type of service related industry that involves some kind of sales, and you don't have that competitive spirit, I'm not going to say you're going to struggle, but like, it's a huge help, because I know myself, it's like, you see the competition, just kind of coming at you everywhere. And like, if you don't keep your game moving forward and stay up to date on stuff, you're going to lose.
Absolutely.
And it happens quick.
Right. And I get the whole adage, you're in competition with no one, you're in competition, with yourself. I agree, to a certain degree. I mean, I am very competitive. I like to win. I don't think there's anybody, regardless of what their definition of winning is, that doesn't enjoy it or doesn't look forward to it. So, we really foster whatever your win is. That's great. That's fantastic. If you can come into the office today and be a better version today than you were yesterday, that's a win, and we celebrate that. And just like you said earlier, staying on top of your craft, staying informed, understanding what's happening in our market. I had a conversation with one of my agents the other day. We were talking about, the general real estate market. And I said, I don't care what's happening in California. Heck, I don't even care what's happening in Sarasota. I care about what's happening here in my backyard. And I need to be really fluent and understand and follow and be able to digest patterns and cycles and understand the difference between, are we in a buyer's market or are we in a seller's market? What does that mean? What market are we in today? But more importantly, what kind of market are we headed into? And staying on top of that, doing, self-development is key. It's key.
Gotcha. So you brought up, I heard you say, like, when the agent comes in the office, it leads to something else I wanted to ask about, because depending on what office I talk to, real estate wise, some agents never go to the office. Other ones, are always in the office. And so how do you handle that dynamic of the agent that, hey, I don't need an office. I'm working from my home. Like, how does that go down at your place?
Oftentimes when I sit down with a prospect, with an agent that, and we're just simply discussing, and I ask them that trivial question, are you working out of the office or are you working from home? And if the answer is I'm working from home, I ask another question. Is that by default or by design?
Fair question.
I think it's valid. If it's by default, well, maybe they're off the office that they're, leaving doesn't have the private offices. Maybe they, there's a lot of drama in the office that they're currently in. There's so many different variables. So for me, it's really important to ask. If it's by default, I like to ask again, why? Why? Is it because you're in a bullpen setting? There's so many different reasons. For me, the majority of the agents that I have work out of the office.
Yeah.
Do I have out of 160, how many agents work from home? I would say maybe 20%, if that. The majority have offices. And you have to consider, and I always like to ask the question, when you're going to your doctor or to see an attorney or an accountant, do you meet them at Starbucks? Do you meet them at home? And they laugh. And usually that's the response I get. They're like, well, no, don't be ridiculous. We meet at an office. Well, then why is our profession any different? Mm-hmm. We are handling one of the largest, most significant transaction that people will ever make in their lifetime.
Right.
Why are we meeting them in a parking lot? Why are we meeting them at Starbucks? I can understand follow-up once you've established that rapport with them and that relationship. But initially, don't you want to bring them to your place of work where all of your accolades, the buzz of the office, just your domain. For me, that's going to set you apart from any other person that's out there, any other profession that is out there. again, once you've established that rapport, perfectly okay. But initially, for me, it's important to come into the office.
Gotcha. So one more question about agents, and I want to get into support staff and your office staff there. So I gotta imagine, well, I know, like you're the commission-based agents, 160 of them, you have conflict in there that you've had to deal with. And meaning like, it could be anything, but like those personalities, commission, whatever, there's going to be times where there's going to be some kind of little bit of conflict in you. I'm curious on how you treat that, meaning like, I've got to imagine it doesn't grow with you. So I'm curious, like, how do you sniff out conflict and then handle it, within your office?
So I'm always here at the office. You can always find myself in any one of the 3 locations. I make it a point to visit all 3. And, so as far as conflict, you would be surprised with 160 people with over 2,000 transaction sides a year. We really very rarely have inner office conflict. Does
Really?
it happen? Yes, really.
Okay.
Does it happen? Yes, of course it does. And when it does happen, every once in a while, few and far times in between, I am there, for me, it's almost like I'm their mom, right? So don't make me choose which one I love more.
Right.
Right? Don't make me choose. Work it out amongst each other. Like I'll sit down and I'll talk to agent A. I'll sit down and talk to agent B. I'll try to figure out what's happening. But at the end of the day, I feel it's really important for them to overcome that, to work it out, to collaborate with one another. If the solution can't can't happen among the 2 of them, then I have a panel of advisors that I call upon.
Okay.
So I remove myself again. And basically the expectation that I've done, it's different advisors every single time that we've done it. And I think
why is that then? Why would that be different advisors? I'm curious.
Because you may have a really good relationship with Joe.
Oh, okay. I got you. Right? So these are advisors within your own office.
This is advisors within my office. These are agents that I randomly select.
Okay.
Based on no rhyme or reason, and it's literally you. And then I just go ahead and you. So you're it. And I go through and I choose a number of them.
Okay.
And then what I do is I set the expectation with both agents. These are the pros and these are the cons. We're going to do and have a mini trial. I am removed from it. A panel of your peers will decide the outcome. Whatever that outcome is, you have to be okay with it. Do you agree to those terms? They both have to agree to those terms. And then they go separately. If they can't stand to see each other, then they go in separately and they plead their case.
Okay.
And the panel can ask them all sorts of questions. And then that person leaves. And then the other person comes in and they do the exact same thing. And then the panel of peers is the one that ultimately decides. And their ruling is, their ruling sticks. And obviously at one point, and I always tell them this, you may like this and you may not. They may favor this. They may do it halfway in the middle. That's why I always like to, at any opportunity I have, is to have the 2 of them work it out between themselves.
Right.
In the room, just to keep the peace and to, and I always tell them this is going to be a productive meeting. We're not going to name call. We're not going to swear. We're not going to lose our cool.
Keep it professional.
We're going to be professional, right? You can say anything under your breath outside, but not in this room. And if they still can't do it, that's when we bring the board of advisors in. And again, they both know full well going into it, however the ruling is, that's what goes.
Interesting. That the board of advisors of their peers. I like it.
Yeah.
Good idea.
That way, it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not choosing because I love them all the same. I
got you. I remember specifically going up to me, me and my brother with each coloring a picture. Mom, which one do you like best? Oh, I love them both.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
exactly.
I love both. Yeah. I mean, And I think that, by removing myself from that, it does a number of different things.
Interesting.
It really showcases the fact that I care about both of you. I don't love one more than the other. I don't care about production level. I don't care about how long you've been with me. We're going to treat this as fairly as we possibly can. If I can cut the deal in half and give you both half, then, almost like the baby in the biblical sense, let's cut the baby in half. Let's try to figure out, and whoever says, no, don't do it. That's, I've tried that. It doesn't work. So for me, it's, okay, if you guys can't figure it out amongst each other, then we'll go ahead and we'll do it to the advisors. And the advisors are sworn to secrecy. So they understand that they cannot, will not, shall not disclose, comment, or anything outside of that room. And that room is set aside. It is private, so nobody else can hear it.
But this case we're talking about, like, that is very rare for you, you said, right?
It is.
But what a great idea, like, though, for an office that is having, a few bad apples or a lot of conflict. I like that idea. It's a good idea. Okay, so I lied about asking another agent question. So I got another one. But technology, I'm curious, how are you guys using technology to help foster your office culture? Is that a part of it, well?
Yes. So that's almost like a loaded question. But I believe in full transparency. I don't understand technology at all. You're
on this call.
I am, and I'm on YouTube and Twitter and Pinterest, and I call them YouTwitface, right? YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. I'm on everything, but it's not me that's doing it. The posting, there's only certain things that I'll post. The congratulations, the atta girls, the award levels. Those are things that I, go out there and purposely post and comment on, the atta girls, the congratulations, that's a great job, great listing, great whatever. But as far as like content material, I don't know how to create those awesome flyers and those landing pages and all of that great stuff. I don't know when taco month is, or tequila month is, or, the ice cream month. I don't know.
Right.
It's, to me, it's like, yeah, it's great, but apparently it's a big thing.
Yeah.
I have people that do that. Remax International also does a lot of pre-branded content material that goes out automatically. They have a library full of just awesome templates, things that you can customize. So they're very sharp in the technology aspect of it. It doesn't cost the agent anything. All they have to do is have interest and want to do it. And then it's automated. So they don't have to think about it at all after the first time that they set it up, which is fantastic.
Right. Well, you guys, I mean, to kind of give you a hint to that question, like, you guys do a Facebook group for your own office.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. We have a close Facebook page.
All right. So one day, don't be surprised. It's a private account. If you see like an anonymous fake account show up in there, that's going to be me trying to infiltrate that group.
Well, you can only infiltrate that if you are invited in.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you would have an invitation. Believe me, there are agents that have tried to, what's the word? Recommend somebody. But that is our way of connecting with everybody from all three offices. And there's a lot, it's such an active site. So it can be anywhere from pre-listings, which is key, right? To, specific needs for buyers. It could be who's your preferred lender, or it could be, hey, I caution you with this vendor, or whatever the case may be. It
could be a good or bad in that group.
It's both. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right.
But it is monitored so that we make sure that we are not disrespecting anybody, that it doesn't get out of hand, that the content and the information that is shared is tasteful. So we do monitor it, but there's a lot of questions. Hey, you know what? I went on the listing and I got asked this question. Have you guys ever encountered something like this? And it's a great opportunity for everybody that sees it to comment should they want to.
yeah, your community is able to jump in and really help with that.
The agent, our Remax Realty team community can.
Yeah, right. Your office, it's just for you guys, not all of Remax.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a cool idea. So let's get to support staff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious because you have, from what I know, with Lorena and Emily, and, Lorena is just an animal, with the job she does, and does such an animal being good, like does a great job. And then Emily seems to be doing great as well. So how do you bring them on board and make them buy into, what the office is doing? Maybe it starts with the interview process up front, or
again, it's for me, it's all about setting the expectation right from the very beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my entire staff, they don't need to be reminded who they work for. They don't work for me. They work for the agent. I don't work for them. I work for the agent. Like, we are all here because of the agent. So we recognize that, we understand that, we appreciate that, and that's pretty much where the service above self comes into play. So we're all playing a small role in their success journey, and we all have a little bit of ownership in that, and we take significant pride in doing that, because each one of us brings a different element to their business or to their personal lives. So it's set right from the very beginning. It's just set from the very beginning. It's understood. I don't need to remind them of it.
I gotcha. Cool. Yoselyn, that was fun.
Thank you. I agree. I think that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
No, I think we covered up, covered pretty much, to me at least, the most important thing. And that's, again, the community, the culture that we have here in the office. It's nice to know when I meet people such as yourself that an extended partnership, that they recognize that, and that they feel and that it's palpable from the moment they walk into the office.
Yep.
Because we put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of resources into making sure that is, cultivated daily. We're pulling the weeds out, and we're watering it, and we're fertilizing it on a continuous basis. So for me, that's the most important thing. You treat somebody well, a happy agent is a productive agent. Yeah, no,
I hear you there for sure. So, Yoselyn, appreciate you being with me today. Loved it. That was a blast. How can people find you out there if they're listening to this and they want to connect with you?
Fantastic. So, of course, I'm on Facebook. I'm on all the different social media sites. But I'm old school when it comes to building relationships. I'm all about pick up the phone, stop by, give me a call, pop by. 239-443-1055 is my direct office number. Yeah. They can also see me on Facebook, and then they can see my website, which is joiningtheteam.com.
Joiningtheteam.com.
Joiningtheteam.com, yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Yoselyn. Well, appreciate you being here, you guys. My name is Tim Hart, branch manager of Van Dyke Mortgage. Appreciate you watching this. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this or watching it. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. Again, Yoselyn, thank you very much. That was awesome.
My pleasure. Absolutely. Bye, everyone.
Right. Bye. Take care.
Bye.